أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم. Hi and welcome everybody. This is Engineer Gamal Badr from Egypt. We will talk today about Panasonic network server KXNS 500, which is really pure IP PPX. We will explain everything about this important PPX. First, system overview. This is some images or pictures for the main unit from inside, and this is the front side of the PPX to demo and show interfaces located on this site. From left to right, we'll find status LED, which must be run green for the system to be in a proper working condition. Second LED is PPX mode, which will be lighten red if system collects any minor or major problems. Here is the initialize switch, which we will use for the first time. We use the system to initialize the system to our region default setting, and of course we can use it again to erase all programming and come back to the initial default setting. This LED will flicker during connection between NS and LAN. This is the LAN connection port, which will be used to connect this PPX to the LAN or directly to our PC or laptop for programming. This USB interface is used for system upgrade or to have a backup of system programming. This card is an optional card and needed if you want to expand capacity of the system or to use in case of we want to expand the system capacity and using expansion units. This stacking card gave us 3 ports to connect more units, exactly 3 expansion units for the system to be reached to the maximum capacity. These slots is for expansion. This is a basic slot which is for 6 analog CO line. Of course, these ports can be assigned to be an external music hold interface or an external pager interface, and in each main unit we have these 2 slots for expansion. We can add 1 digital or analog CO line interface and of course we can use one door phone and door opener card per unit. Only one expansion CO line, digital or analog, and only one door phone and door opener card can be added to each cabinet. This interface is for two digital phones, and they will give us another two digital phones through digital etc. device port, as we will see. These 5 ports will give us interface for connecting 16 single line telephony, and it comes initially equipped with this unit. These 2 slots are for expansion, and we'll explain soon how to use these slots. This about the front panel interfaces. As we mentioned before, this is a stacking card KXNS 5130, which must be installed to use 3 expansion units like this. Expansion units is connected to the main unit through RJ45 cables. So from each expansion unit to the main unit, we must connect RJ45 straight cable to connect the expansion unit. Maximum 3 expansion units can be connected. We have 3 interfaces for 3 expansion units. This is the maximum configuration which you can get from KXNS 500, but we can expand capacity more than this by some means, which will be described later, or not necessary in this video, but it will be explained in coming videos, inshallah. We explain that the main unit comes with 6 CO line, analog CO line interfaces, initially equipped with the main unit. These 3 ports gave us interface to connect each port, gave us connection for 2 CO line or 2 external music and hold source, or and 2 external pager. Each port individually can be used for CO line or music and hold and or pager. This interface gives us 2 digital extensions, 101 and 102. Each of them can give us another digital extension. 101 can give us 103 through digital etc. device port. 102, which is the second port, second digital port, which connected to the main unit through this interface can give us another extension, another digital extension, of course with a different programming, different number, different class of service. Nothing is common between them except the connection port, just the physical port, but they are different completely. They are two different extensions. All connection for CO lines, music on hold, external pager, all of these connection and interfaces uses direct or standard RJ45 cables. For analog CO line ports, any port can be programmed as external pager or music on hold, and it comes by default for CO line connection, for analog CO line connection. These 5 ports will give us 16 single line telephone interfaces. So we can connect two single line telephone in this port. It is written here 1 and 2. SLT number 3 and 4 from this port, from 5 to 8 from this port, from 9 to 11 here, from 13 to 16 here. In details, this port will give us a connection for single line telephone extension 105 and 106, and this for 107 and 8, and this for 9, 10, 11, 12, this for 13, 14, 15, 16, and the last one for extension from 117 to 120. Single line telephone numbers starting from 105 by default if we select numbering, extension numbering to start from 101, and if we select during initial setting that the extension numbers starting from 201, so single line phones will start with 205. From 101 to 104 is 4 digital extensions, as we mentioned before. Main unit comes with 6 analog trunk interface and slot 4 and 5 for digital or analog CO line expansion, and only 1 door phone card. So the rule is we can use only 1 door phone card with unit, per unit. I can't install 2 door phone cards, or I can't install 2 CO line cards. Just 1 card, digital or analog. This is the analog expansion card, which can be installed to give additional 6 or to add 6 analog trunk lines. And this card is for digital E1 ports or PRI ports. This card supports the two functions in the same time, and by programming we will select which function will be used. Again, only one door phone card can be installed per unit, and only one expansion trunk card per main unit or expansion unit. Only one, analog or digital. This is analog trunk and one door phone. If you want to use expansion slots to expand system capacity, or one door phone card and one digital trunk card, so you can use one digital trunk card or one analog trunk card and only one door phone card. These two slots, number 6 and 7, is for expansions. Type of expansion cards which can be used for this unit or with this system, of course with main unit or expansion unit. First type, for hybrid digital line card, which supports interface for digital phone and for single line telephone, and another for digital phones through digital etc. device port. Another type, DLC8, which will support 8 digital extension. DLC16 will support 16 digital extension. MSLC will support 8 single line telephone with FSK caller ID type and message waiting lamp control. This is M for message waiting lamp control. M, single line card 8 interface. And MSLC, which is the double of this, will support 16 extension single line telephone extensions with FSK type caller ID type is FSK only for telephones, not for external lines. Please notice the difference. Please be careful when using MSLC 16 or DLC 16. These cards only can be connected here in slot 06. In this case, slot 07 cannot be used at all, as the figure indicate and as we said before. Main unit comes with 16 single line telephone. Another 16 extension can be added digital phones or single line phones or both of them, but only one 16 expansion card, digital or analog, can be connected with each unit only in slot number 6, and in this case slot 7 will not be used at all for any other type of cards or any other use. Now we will come to initial and maximum capacities, and we made two diagrams to explain. For the main unit or basic unit, maximum collection of all type of extension will not exceed 162, and 168 was digital etc. device port, of course, but individually 18 digital proprietary telephone is maximum. 32 SLT is the maximum number of single line telephone which can be taken from any unit. Analog proprietary telephone, which is 7730, can be used with maximum 8 units per main unit or expansion unit. Of course, we can connect 128 IPPT or and SIP phones or SIP portable station. For maximum capacity, which you can get, this is the maximum number and this is the maximum collection of all of this, which is detailed here for anyone to use it when expanding KXNS 500. But please notice that 7730 will only be used when we install this DHLC card. This card is always needed if you wanted to use the analog proprietary telephone 7730. As a summary of what we say before, we have collect all this information in this figure and we concentrate on this maximum capacities which we cannot exceed for this main unit. 32 single line telephone maximum, and maximum analog, maximum 8 analog proprietary telephone, and maximum 12 analog trunk lines. This port is for single line telephone connections, as we mentioned before. This is for digital, this is for analog trunk, this is for expansion, this is for LAN connection or direct PC program. Now we'll talk about wiring, which is very easy. All connection for NS500 is carried out through using RJ standard cable. For operator or digital phone connection, we will use RJ45 cable, and we'll use orange and orange white pair for extension 101, the operator, and the green pair, green and green white, for extension 102. 102 and 101 will be connected through orange pair and green pair, which is 1, 2, 3, and 6 points here. 1, 2, 3, and 6. In details, orange, white, and orange will be used for connecting extension 101, but we must connect it to number 1 and 4 on the connection box, which is the outer pin 1 and 4. This pin 2 and 3 is always for single line telephones. Whenever you want to connect a digital phone, please use this outer first and last pin 1 and 4, 1 and 4, and green pair will be used for extension 102. Orange pair will be connected to 1 and 4 because telephone using RJ11 interface, and of course another cable can be connected directly from 101 to give 103 with DXDB function. This orange white orange pair will be connected to 101 through another RJ cable to connect 103. Green pair will give connection for 102, and the direct RJ11 cable will give us 104. For DXDB and XDB, when using 4 digital extension card DHLC4, we will get 8 digital proprietary telephone and 4 single line telephone to be connected through this way. 1 and 4 will be for digital extensions. 2 and 3, which is the inner pin, will be for single line telephone, like this. If you go to system programming, we can find that for DHLC card will give us master for digital phone and additional for digital phones. This is for single line telephone, and this for first for digital telephone and this for second digital telephone. For CO line analog, for analog CO line connection, each port will give us to interface to connect to outside line. In this case we'll use orange and orange white and brown white, which is 1 and 2, 7 and 8. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. This pair for line number 2 and this pair for line number 1. If you connect RJ45 to this port, if you connect another RJ45 to this port, we'll get line 3 and line 4. Another RJ45 cable to be connected to the third port here will give us line 5 and line 6, and will be connected to the inner pin of the connection box for 2 and 3. Pin 1 and 4 in the connection box is always for single line. 1 and 4 is always for digital telephone and only will be used only for digital phones, only for digital connection. But for single line telephone and CO line, this 2 screw will be used for connection, which is connected to 2 and 3 here. For CO line and single line telephone, we must use these screws. Now we will see how to connect external battery to be used as an alternative power source when power goes down. Here is the interface to connect external battery, and we must use this cable with this number. This switch for connection or to connect or not, or connection of battery, external battery, comes with some version of KNS 500, and it is deleted after that. It is not used after that. Many units I see with this this switch is not equipped here anymore, but this interface is always here to connect batteries. This is the rear, by the way, this is the rear side of KXNS 500. This is a plug for EC power in, and this is ground connection, and this power on and off, and this for battery, and this can be available or no. You can find it or you cannot find it, depend on the version of PBX. To connect batteries, you must use 3 identical battery with 12 volt connected in series to have a multiply of potential difference, to have 36 volt, which is needed for power for the system to be work correctly. How to initialize Panasonic KXNS 500 for the first time. It's very easy. First, be sure that this initialize switch is in system initialize side, which is the left side. Then power on the system. 3. Wait for this LED to start flicker. When you see this LED start flickering, move initialize switch to normal position and wait about 2 or 3 minutes. It will be fixed green and system work. It's very easy. Just move initialize switch to system initialize side, power on the system, wait until this LED start flickering, then move this initialize switch to the normal position to the right. Wait for about 3 or 4 minutes, from 2 to 4 minutes, and system will start working. Now we will go to LAN connection. We do initializing. We initialize the system, and we will now go to how to program the system. To go inside programming, you must use standard RJ45 straight cable connection from LAN port on main unit to your laptop or PC. First, connect straight RJ45 cable from LAN port on main unit to your LAN port on your PC. This is the first step, and you don't need any special software to interface and program the system. But default IP for our system is 192.168.0.101. .0 is not commonly used. All of us are using .1. So in most cases, people try to connect to system and do what we say, but they can't connect to the system because our LAN ports are in another LAN, not on LAN 0. So we can go to control panel, network and internet network connection, and find IP4 setting, and go to IP address and give us an address related to this LAN, which will be in the same LAN with the PBX. In this case, we can be connected. Otherwise, if your LAN setting is taking a LAN with .1 and system is .0, they will not see each other. So please be careful about this step. Again, our system have this IP address by default, so our LAN setting must be in the same LAN. PBX is taking 101 by default, so I can use any number .0, any number from 1 to 255, of course 254, but not 101 because it is used for PPX. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 200 as you wish, but please be in .0 LAN to see the PPX or to be connected easily with your PPX. So you set your LAN setting to be in the same LAN domain with PBX. So open any browser you have and put this IP address and enter. You will be go to this screen and you'll be asked to put username and password, which is by default is installer capital letter and 1 2 3 4. Just write installer and 1 2 3 4 in these places, username and password, and login. You will be here in the system, and from here we explain before in many videos how to deal with your PPX, but we will preview what we say before. Here you can select your interface language, and here if you are using the system as a slave for another pre-installed system, you can select to be a slave. We will need an activation key if you want to use one lock system. Here you can select your area, your area code or your country. They will be listed under this menu. This is a drop down menu. A new password, but not the old one, 1 2 3 4, will not be accepted. You must change the password and rewrite it and go to start setup wizard. OneLock network is always using NS1000 as a master unit. This master unit must be NS1000. These sites will be NS500 and will be set to slave through system programming. This OneLock networking and how to connect system located in different physical position or different physical location, how to be connected to act like one system, or actually they will act as one system, so they are named OneLock networking. This will be explained in a separate video. Second menu in system setup wizard will be for date and time and daylight time saving. Third one will be, you will be asked to select if you want to use feature number with asterisk or without asterisk, and here you can select to serial line access number. It is 0 by default and 9 for operator. All of us first time connecting NS500, they not change this to 9 and leave it to 0. They trying to test the system. They are open speaker phone and dial 9. Dial 9 is for operator by default, so you are calling yourself. You will hear busy tone or reorder tone, but if you change it as we used to use, we are used to use 9 for CO line access and 0 for operator, so please be careful about this. Here will be selected, you will be asked to select to start extension numbers from 101 or from 201 for 3-digit numbering, or you can select to use it from the beginning 4 digits starting from 1000 or 2000. Select what you want, but of course they can be changed. We explain this in a separate video. This is the default values when we select to use numbering plan with asterisk. 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and 6 is used for extension numbering, and this is the code for most operations. But if you select type 2 to use feature numbers without asterisk, you will get this 4 digits for extension numbering like this. 4 digit because fixed 2 digit and 2 variable digit with minimum value of 00 and 99 as we explained before. So this will be from 1000 to 1099, from 1100 1199, and so on and so on. And this will be the codes for features when we use feature numbers without asterisk, which is very similar to that used in digital 1232 and older PBX. Next screen will be for operator and manager. You can select any extension to be manager and any extension to be operator, and for operator you can also use common call distribution group. Operator connection and programming have a separate video which is located on the internet 4 or 5 months ago, but it is in Arabic. I am an Arabic man and I speak Arabic. I have asked to do my videos in English. I'm sorry, I have a broken English, but I think you can understand me. Next screen you will be asked for CO line dialing mode, of course, and it is by default DTMF. Please leave it DTMF. And if you install this PRI E1 card, please select which function you want to use from this card. Common call distribution group can be selected from initial setting, but please leave it no, and if you want to use it through programming after that. LAN setting, this is the default IP address. Of course, it can be changed after that, especially if you are using static IP. This screen is about using IP phones, SIP phones, or IPPT, Panasonic or any other type, but of course you have 4 open IP phones can be used directly without any license, but you need to install voice over IP DSP card. Any type, you have 3 type DSP, small and medium and large, with these part numbers respectively. You can use any one of them, but you will not be able to use voice over IP function without DSP card installed in the main unit. Please be careful. This is the end of our lecture or session. I hope you can find something useful for you and you can understand what I want to tell you about. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope this video to be helpful for you. See you again.